It is good to see you and welcome to day 5 of the Great CICO experiment. So last night was a pretty good night. I did wake up a couple hours before I was supposed to, really hungry, and that is to be expected in a calorie deficit. That is to be expected on a new diet where I'm eating foods that aren't incredibly satiating, but I was able to get back to sleep after, 10, 15 minutes, wrapped back up, and then woke up at a normal time. So far, the only major side effect I've had from this entire challenge of eating the standard American diet was that horrible stomach ache and scramble to the bathroom on day 2. But ever since then, things are going pretty smooth. So by this point, you should kind of know the routine. We're going to start off with the mindset portion of the video, going through Proverbs. If you are only interested in the muscle point of the video, you are welcome to go ahead and skip to this timestamp right here. And that will get you started on the meals I'm going to eat for the day and the workout I'm going to complete for the day. But if not, welcome to the mindset portion. As we are going through verses in Proverbs right now that jump out at me and kind of tying them into my thoughts, going down rabbit holes and all of that good stuff, the verse that jumped out to me this morning was a very famous one. I'm guessing most people, even if they haven't really read the Bible before, have heard it, and that is, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall." So that's kind of been simplified. Most people hear pride goes before a fall. The actual verse is pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. So haughty just kind of means like thinking you're above everyone or everything. So the reason it jumped out to me is, first and foremost, it's a very famous verse. A lot of people have heard it. But secondly, that is a thing that a lot of people in the bodybuilding world, the fitness industry, or maybe YouTube, or just people in general, find themselves struggling with, is pride. And it doesn't have to look super typical and narcissistic on the outside. It can be easy to picture pride as somebody making a post on social media or walking down the street talking about how great they are and how much better they are than everyone else. But pride and a haughty spirit can also be something that goes on in the inside. And that's how it was for me years ago. That's something that I battled with. So for me, that pride didn't come in the form of looking down on people or thinking I was better than people. It came in the form of how selfish and focused I was on my physique goals and how proud I was of what I accomplished with that, which just led me to be hyper focused to the point of negative impact on other areas of my life with my physique goals. So this isn't to say that having physique goals and being very focused on them is bad. But when it crosses a line to where you are thinking about that, obsessing about that, and feeling like your sense of self-worth or sense of accomplishment, or whether you're a success or failure, comes down only to external goals that you have in your life, which in my case earlier on was bodybuilding, that's where it becomes a problem, and it becomes pride and it becomes selfishness. When you completely connect your identity to those goals, and then if you fail, you become miserable, you become depressed, you become sad about that. If you succeed, you have that inner sense of pride, like, hey, I accomplished this, I'm so great, I did this on my own. That's another thing that bodybuilding is, or at least definitely can be, a very selfish sport. It is up to you if you eat your meals. It is up to you if you get your workouts in. So if you succeed or if you fail has a lot to do with you and what you accomplish on that. But you need to recognize, and this is something that had to smack me in the face, that first and foremost, every day is a blessing and should not be taken for granted. And working as an investigator for the medical examiner's office, I see this every single day. Nobody knows when their time is up. You can deal with, I've dealt with cases where it's an older person and an unknown cause of death. I've dealt with people where it's somebody in their 20s and 30s and they died in an auto accident. have very unfortunately dealt with cases where it is children. And you just never know that the next day is not guaranteed for you. So wake up each day and count it as a blessing, count it as something to accomplish. But don't take pride in the fact that you take the day for granted. Oh, I'm so strong. Here's another day for me to accomplish my goals, and that's your only focus. I remember I would go into gyms back when I had been lifting for maybe 5, 6 years, and I would always look around, and in most gyms, I was the biggest person or close to it, or definitely the one that looked like a bodybuilder. And I would feel that inner sense of pride on that. I would look around and be like, oh yes, I'm the biggest person here. I'm the most successful bodybuilder here. Wow, this is great. And that's not really a healthy mindset. Why am I going in and basing my self-worth and my success on how much better I am than somebody else around me while I'm at the gym, even if it's something as silly as a physique? Or maybe while I'm on a meal plan for a bodybuilding competition or something like that, everybody around me is eating their standard American diet that I'm eating right now, only much more calories, and I'm eating my bodybuilding meal prep, and I might think inside myself, wow, I have so much more discipline than everybody else. I'm able to really struggle and overcome, like, look at me. So just these little stabs of pride that go on internally that are not healthy for the mindset, and something that I wanted to clear out. One's focus should be on improving yourself, both mentally and physically, being a blessing to others, being able to connect to others, and being able to help others without judging them internally. And I know comparison is such a big part of today's culture with the prevalence of social media, everybody posting pictures and videos filtered or posting their best self. Everybody wants to emulate somebody or has a certain physique, a certain look that they want to aspire to and go after. But really, the attempt at copying somebody else or obsessing over a certain look that you have to achieve before you'll get happy never leads to happiness. All that does is lead to an internal obsession. So really focus on bettering yourself mentally and physically. And that's a big part of this series. That's why my channel is Mindset and Muscle. That's what I'm looking to do myself, to clear out these cobwebs of whether it be pride, whether it be obsession, just these inner things that I need to get out of myself and replace with positivity, with goodness. And hopefully this journey helps you along the way in the same way as well. So as we climb back up that rabbit hole, as always, going from comparison of one another to inner pride to external pride, don't confuse confidence with pride. So I feel like a lot of people interchange those two words. Confidence is a wonderful thing. It is something that you should have in yourself and in your journey. Absolutely be confident in yourself. Be confident in what God has called you to do. Be confident in the choices that you make. But pride is another matter. It's where confidence crosses the line into arrogance. It's where confidence crosses the line into self-damaging and mentally damaging other people around you. Not necessarily, they may not even know it, but if you are putting somebody down mentally, elevating yourself above somebody else, wow, I look better than that person. Wow, I'm more disciplined than that person. Wow, I have more money than that person. Wow, I'm better off than that person. Whatever it might be, that's where it crosses the line from confidence to arrogance and pride. So confidence wants to raise other people up with you and continue to raise yourself up to a good, healthy level. Arrogance and pride always wants to put yourself above other people and to tear people down in order to put yourself above them, or just to dwell in and splash around in that fact that you're so great or you've accomplished something so great. If you have any thoughts or stories on overcoming pride or battling with pride yourself, you can leave a comment below as we look to um, build this community together. And if you have any specific topics you would like me to talk about in future mindset portions of these videos, please leave a comment with that, and I would be happy to discuss that as well. But now, let's switch from the mindset into the muscle. It's breakfast time. Breakfast started off with a bowl of Reese Puff cereal. Always delicious, crunchy, peanut buttery. I'm enjoying these. What cereal should I pick next? For lunch before the workout, we made a peanut butter and honey sandwich. First time I've had that in a while, with an apple and a protein shake. The apple was crispy and delicious. Peanut butter and honey was amazing. Are you team peanut butter and honey or peanut butter and jelly? I'm split between the two. It's about 50-50. And then we finished that off with a protein shake just because I knew I would need to get that in order to have the protein requirements at the end of the day. For the workout today, with it being a calisthenics day, we started with explosive pull-ups. My technique is dramatically improving, and we got the bar all the way to my rib cage, the bottom of my rib cage, whereas before I was pulling just barely to my lower chest. We paired that up. We did a circuit, so we did 3 repetitions of explosive pull-ups. Then we moved immediately into working on our L-sit. Again, still need to work on hamstring flexibility and mobility, hip flexor strength as well. And then we went straight into pistol squats. This was a fail, but I promise the other repetitions were really good. I've been practicing. The first time I did it, I had to hold on to something. I was only able to get about a third of the way down before my knees started to bother me. So the mobility and focusing on the balance is starting to pay off. So not a great set there, but we got it. Then we moved into practicing an actual muscle up, and I was actually able to do it pretty smoothly. Felt really good. So working on the basics on the technique has really been paying off. Felt pretty easy. Really learning to master that, able to control the negative, felt really good. So that was at the halfway point. So we did 10 total rounds of this. Halfway through, we switched the exercises a little bit. We did the explosive pull-ups still, but then rather than the L-sit, we did some straight leg raises, and rather than the pistol squats, we did some sissy squats. Again, just trying to focus on really bulletproofing the knees and mastering this. So not great here at the start, but I'm sure technique will dramatically improve with practice. And then, of course, just to prove to myself I could do it, I finished on the last set of the workout with another muscle up, but I wanted to challenge myself since the first muscle up attempt was pretty easy. So I did an explosive pull up, and then without touching my feet to the ground, I had to reset myself and then go into a muscle up. And it was still smooth. So we are getting this, guys, from not being able to do a muscle up at all to being able to do one after a pull up. I'm excited to start to string this together, to start to master this, and then be able to move on to harder and crazier calisthenics. So another workout in the books. Obviously today was calisthenics day, which is not focused so much on trashing the muscle. It is focused on explosiveness, on technique, and on mastering these new skills that I've set out for myself. So muscle up, much improved from the first session. I was able to get 1 smooth rep on set number 5 out of 10. And on that last set that I attempted, I actually did an explosive pull-up and then was able to get the muscle up after the pull-up without touching my feet to the ground. So 0 momentum was able to be used in that one as far as like actually pushing off the ground or jumping. So very happy about that. Pistol squat is very smooth now. It didn't look so on video. I choked, I got nervous, but I was able to do some smooth sets for sure. In comparison, I forgot to film the first time I attempted to do the pistol squat. I was only able to get about a quarter or a third of the way down before my knees started bothering me. Flexibility and balance became an issue, and I fell on my booty. So I had to hold on to something to do those. So very pleased with the progress I've made on those. L-sit still has a way to go as far as hamstring flexibility and hip flexor strength. So I need to work on that for sure, but we'll keep doing that and we'll nail that. And once we have all 3 of those movements down pat, we'll start focusing on some other movements while continuing to slowly progress on those. So very happy with this workout. Tomorrow is a hand balancing and mobility day, and then the day after we are back in the gym for a full body bodybuilding style workout. We want to have flexibility, mobility, and longevity. We want to have the explosive power, the calisthenics, the capability of the body to do amazing jaw-dropping things. And we also want to have the physique, the muscle, the power that comes with bodybuilding. We want it all, and we're going to get it all while following the standard American diet on this great CICO experiment. So if you can hear, I'm excited. I hope you are too. But anyway, let's get our post-workout meal in. After the workout, we had got some protein in. We had 1 scoop of Nutricost whey protein. Delicious, 25 grams of protein right there, so perfect recovery for the workout. And we paired that up with some carbs, you know, spike the insulin, drive the protein into the muscle with a tasty ice cream sandwich. Oh yeah. Dinner saw rotisserie chicken, a baked potato with butter, of course. The butter alone added 100 calories, which was annoying, but oh well, and green beans. So that is going to be a wrap for day 5. Highlights of the day, definitely the workout, my muscle up. I got my muscle up officially done, and then challenged myself to do one after a pull-up, so I was very pleased with that. The pistol squat, even though I know it didn't look so good in the video, I couldn't capture the good sets I did earlier. That came along dramatically as well. And while I still have a lot of work to do on the L set, it is definitely looking better than when I started, where I had to have my knees completely bent just to get my thighs parallel to the ground. So very pleased with the workout. All in all, for the diet, we had 1,800 calories, 127 grams of protein. So hit both of those goals under 2,000 and over 125. So we are chugging along so far. We'll make adjustments as needed based on the check-in. Since this first check-in, I had dropped 5 pounds, which again at the start is to be expected, a dramatic weight loss. We will see how this deficit is doing for this upcoming week. So next Sunday when I do my check-ins, I'll see if we need to lower the calories anymore, keep them right where they're at, or maybe, fingers crossed, even raise the calories a little bit, because our goal is going to be to lose 2 pounds a week. So if this week I've lost a little bit more, then I'll go ahead and probably bump the calories up to like 2,300 or less instead of 2,000 or less. But anyway, everything is going smoothly. Again, very pleased with the workout. I am on call tonight, so I hope that, no, I don't want to jinx it, but let's just say I hope I get some good sleep tonight, because I do work tomorrow and have the hand balancing and mobility on top of filming and all that. So good stuff though. I hope you are as excited to be along for this ride with me as I am to be documenting it for you and doing this experiment. I can't wait to see the results, but I'm going to savor the journey every step of the way in the meantime. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for day 6.